Minecraft Dungeons is one of the free PlayStation monthly games for March, and I am so happy that it was. I hopped in to do my first 2 review and have now played about 6 hours of the game through 3 Splipporip sessions, and it's because this game's got some serious staying power. It's really engaging, somewhat addicting. The block boys over at Mojang have done it again. It of course uses the Minecraft aesthetic and includes a lot of mobs, especially from the game. However, it doesn't have to lean too much on that connection, but it does a good job of transitioning you from maybe a Minecraft state of mind into the new dungeon mind, doing this subtly and smoothly by taking kind of a reworked version of the soundtrack through the tutorial that sounds familiar and sweet and comforting, but still a little bit different. It's a top-view dungeon looter, and it absolutely nails progression and the power fantasy that you want to create in a game like this. It isn't exactly a unique game that does things different from the Splipporip and really kind of steals elements from a lot of different media. Like the opening cinematic and plot is essentially ripped directly from Lord of the Rings. Person finds object in cave that corrupts their mind, makes them evil, overlaid by this dramatic female talk.
The purity of heart to stand against the arch illages.
Like, dude, it's the same. My crew wasn't exactly about watching the cutscenes anyway, though. Hold on, y'all skip the fucking cutscene. Too far ahead.
Absolutely.
We watching this cutscene or what?
No.
Did you skip this cutscene, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, they didn't even give us a cutscene. They knew.
I fucking love it. Oh shit, this thing whaps.
And though the game may not be supremely original, it is extremely well done. Controls of the game are simple, also most of the combat is fairly forgiving, like your ranged attack with arrows basically lock on to a highlighted target, so there's not a ton of aiming emphasis, making this game very inclusive and accessible, which is good for a Minecraft game, so just about anyone can pick it up. I think they could have made the controls just a little bit more complex to give us a different button for reviving and primary attacks, though, because that certainly caused problems. Ah!
I don't. You're gonna fucking have a hard time getting me.
They're gnawing at my ankles too. Well, I'm not trying to rest right now! But there are still distinguishers to become better at the game, and there's ways to do things more efficiently and really kind of advance your status as a player, and this is more done through strategic decision making and the compatibility of the build you craft. And it doesn't have to be all about improvement either, because a lot of the new gear and combinations that you can look to make are just extremely fun. There's a lot of traditional roles that items will play in this game, such as a conjure ability where you'll bring up a Krita to come help you, like I've got this little Jawa that can follow me around. A favorite of mine in the friend group was certainly the bees that would spawn up. I'm sticking with the all bee loadout for right now. It's my end all be all. Then there's also healing abilities for more of a support role. There's things that can help abilities recharge, increase attack speed and movement speed. And then abilities that are more AoE focused to help with crowd control. So there's many different roles to cater to how you want to play. And as you discover these new abilities and items, if you're doing so with a team, you're gonna be spawning so much jealousy, which makes this game even more compelling and trapolating, as you'll see just crazy abilities come out of your friends, and you're just gonna be losing your mind. Yeah, I just got that too.
Gavin, what are you doing?
Is that a corrupt action? It is.
How'd you get that?
No idea.
Rick, where'd you get a hand grenade?
I don't know. Damn.
That is so sick. I want that beam. And for a game that seems like it could be really simple, it felt like I was always finding something new in the loot that habagooed me. Mojang also nailed a lot of the little things in this game. Great sound design. If you can make like a doll make someone shit themselves with a little noise like this, I mean, you're doing something right.
Oh, fuck.
Animations are smooth and interact without issue. I was also so pleased that they really let the buffs stack on top of each other. Like if you get an attack speed increase on one of your abilities and then your armor and then a teammate's ability, like all of that's gonna compound so that you turn into the Wolverine Tasmanian Devil. so sweet. Another nice quality of life thing is the teleport function, just being able to get to teammates that may be in very different parts of the map, catch up to them quickly, and tone back a lot of potential boring downtime. And also they've done a pretty good job with the simple economy that they've structured, especially with enchantment points, because salvaging an item that was already enchanted will give you those points back, making it so you can feel free to upgrade stuff immediately after getting it and early on in the game, so you always feel powerful and you're always getting something new and interesting, and you don't have to be frugal until you reach kind of the end game, which is a trap that a lot of these games sometimes get stuck in. This game can give you a little bit of everything. It's got a lot of very intense moments as you get farther into the game, and you can ramp up the difficulty as you want to make this very challenging if you want, but it can also just be like an ultimate chiller that's extremely satisfying and nice to just go about and kind of cap off an evening with. I absolutely endorse this one. Let me mention a few negatives that I did note through my playthrough, just to nitpick a little bit, although I think this game is spectacular. Some of its weakest points are things that just regularly plague this type of game, such as the boss fights are usually going to be too challenging or just a cakewalk, and kind of problematic for that reason. There were frequent boss fights where you can just stand super far away from them and spam arrows, and that's essentially the entire fight, and if there's not enough mobs around there to make things interesting and make you change up your strategy and gameplay, it feels very dull and underwhelming. And there's a lot of bosses that maybe just get stuck on certain items or on walls, and they just end up not moving, and you can just destroy them without much resistance. Or the bosses will spawn just like unlimited people and you feel just kind of hopeless. This is something that can especially happen if you have a power level difference between the people in the game. There was a couple different times where I'd already played for several hours and I picked up a new person to try out the game with them, and it becomes a situation where one player is overpowered and just not really getting anything good, and then the other player is underpowered and not really getting the proper experience either. It's a tough issue to solve, but something they can maybe do a little bit better. I also don't really get why you can't cancel or share arrows, at least to my knowledge. I don't think you can drop your arrow supply to give to a teammate who maybe uses it more in their playstyle. Also, since arrows can be a precious currency, it's kind of strange that you can't cancel your shot after drawing it. And I'm not certain if this is across the board, but the modifiers seem very dull and to not add much, like it was mostly bumping up mob health or the threat level. Mystery banner. Those have only given Zach and I bad things, so...
Pick it up. Let's see. Hold X.
Mob health is increased by 70%?
Oh my god!
Bro!
Yeah, those are bad things. You guys did warn me.
Overall, though, this game is omorant. Just about each time I've played it, I'm in that infinite stage of, oh, I'll just do one more mission. It couldn't hurt. And it's hard to walk away from the grind and not want to just continue playing. And I think this game is supposed to stay free a week into April, and then we'll get kind of the next batch of free PlayStation games. Some of the individual DLCs are on sale, but the bundle is not. Only one I have left for this month to cover is Battlefield 2042, so that will be the next first two review. That's it. Peace out. I think we should go back this way. Holy fuck!